Hey,
I'm Alicia.
and I'm Meredith.
And this is Summer is Fun, a Summer House podcast, the finale, baby. We got it. We're here. I thought it was a great finale. I'm more excited for the reunion, personally. I'm
hyped. There's a lot of things going on that I think we need to discuss at the end.
Oh, okay, let's get into it. But first, please rate, subscribe, review. I think we actually got a new review. I'll pull it up, but while I do, everyone please remember we do have our Vanderpump Rules podcast. It's about the pasta, so check that out. I think season 3 is currently being released, so it's super fun.
Yeah, it's being released live or like every Thursday.
Yes. Okay, here's what happened. So remember when I was like, oh my God, we have only 5-star ratings, but like no one's giving us reviews. Ha ha ha. Someone gave us a 2-star review or a 2-star rating,
It's okay.
but didn't leave a review. Screw you. Anyway, we did get a 5-star review though.
Yay.
From the user Twitterless. It's titled 5-Star Fun, and it says, recommend this podcast if you're a Summer House fan. Thank you so much, Twitterless. We also recommend this podcast because we are Summer House fans. Like hardcore, I follow them on Instagram and creep their lives constantly fans.
Oh, I literally just love seeing what they're up to. And I love going to our podcast Instagram because then it aggregates all of our Bravo stars. And so I can just see those. I don't have to even see my personal friends.
And we only did we have the Vanderpump the Vanderpump cast, Summer House cast, and I followed all the Southern Charm people because with Winter House. But guys, check out our Instagram while we're talking about this at Vanderpasta.
Alicia posts the fun things, and I post the episode announcements.
And sometimes Meredith's really good at posting stories. I always forget those.
Anytime I see something that's an announcement on Bravo, I just reshare it.
I'm so excited. I love Bravo. It's fun.
Oh, obsessed.
Okay, and then also join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get if you join. So for the small price of only $1 a month, you will get access to, let me tell you, hang on, I'm pulling it up. Okay, got it. For $1 a month, you get access to our pre-show, which is us talking about everything. It was kind of long. We talked about a lot of TV shows. Meredith and I haven't talked to each other in a week, so we need to. And I was blacked out last week, so
last week doesn't count. So we basically haven't talked.
I don't remember it. But yeah, also you get episodes or access to any episodes we record early. So right now for our Vanderpumps episode or podcast, we have all of our season 3 episodes out on there to listen to. But they're being released weekly, so sorry if you're behind. But for Summer House, we're going to go back to the beginning once season 5 is over, and we're going to release those first on Patreon. So that's where you can find those first and foremost. And then they'll be released live, but you'll have to wait for those. Sorry. And then for $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned, plus you get access to our after show, which is right now only for Vanderpump, but eventually will be for Summer House, where we talk about spoilers or any news that we have regarding the cast. And for Summer House, there's a ton of news coming out. So eventually when we go back, there's gonna be tons of after show news. Also, we'll say your name on the podcast and thank you for all that you do. So thank you to Dustin and Jackie and Mariah and Tracy. The Fab Four.
Our group. Our solid group.
And then for $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, I usually remember. Sometimes I forget. But for the most part, when there's live seasons, I ask you for all your opinions. Also, for not live seasons, you leave us your opinions and we'll read them and we'll talk about them and we'll make you part of the podcast. Except I want to apologize for last week, Dustin. I was so drunk. I did not even remember what I read, and I'm sure it was horrible.
I think it's Jackie's that you read.
Jackie, I'm so sorry too. You know what? I apologize for last week, but it's fine because I did it. I was just drunk. Also, we pick a patron of the episode if you're $5 a month, and we have 2 $5 a month fans, which is Jackie and Dustin, and they're married. So we call them our podcast parents, and we love them so much. And because this is the finale, I'm getting teared up, but I love them so much. And we have thoughts from them that we will talk about. But for right now, let's talk about this episode.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Previously this season on Summer House, it was a party. Steven and Lindsay were together, but then they broke up. But then they got back together while they were having sex. And then Amanda and Kyle are so excited to start their lives together. And then we met Robert, who's Danielle's boy, and he came to visit, and she's so excited and like kind of in love. And then Hannah and Luke flirted at the beginning of the summer because Hannah still really liked Luke. But then Luke had Sierra. So then Hannah got mad and she cried a lot. And then Luke got mad and yelled at Hannah. But then Sierra doesn't like guys that yell at girls. And then we also had Carl, who's now sober, but then his brother sadly passed away. And then Carl was having a really hard time. So he did start drinking a little bit more, which then kind of caused a fight amongst the boys. And Luke said he didn't like Kyle, and Kyle almost killed him for that. And then Luke apologized and cried to everyone, and everyone forgave him, mostly Amanda. And then Kyle and Hannah got into a few fights, and Hannah yelled at Amanda. So then Amanda threw a cup at Hannah. And then Kyle uninvited Hannah to the wedding. And then we met Des, who's Hannah's new man, the comedian, and he came to visit, and they fucked everywhere, including Kyle and Amanda's bathroom. And then Hannah's relationship, we figured out the relationship with Des overlapped with Luke. So then Luke wasn't very happy that then he was made out to be the bad guy in that situation. And no one really knows Des because Hannah and Des just fucked all the whole time. And then Hannah's like upset that no one got to know Des, even though she got to know Des really well, but no one else did. So then Hannah also told Des about Kyle being the bad guy. And then Amanda got mad at Hannah and they got into a fight, and Hannah's being super defensive. Wow, what a season.
That was you crushed that.
Also, I want to just say in the recap, we didn't see Amanda throwing a cup, but I remembered that and I wrote that down.
That's number 2 on the list of favorite things that happened this season outside of Sandwichgate. And
also, I love the stove.
The stove and Paige getting shit-faced after that boat.
I love drunk Paige. There's so many things. Okay. Also,
that have nothing to do with any of the storylines.
Just want to shout out that Steven got to hold hands with Lindsay, but then got to make out, but had to really beg for it. That was another good time. Okay. So we're picking up right where we left off. Hannah's upset. She's being defensive about Des, even though Danielle and Amanda were kind of like, we didn't get to know him. And then Hannah got mad. Whatever, Hannah
stormed off. And
Sierra stormed off. Sierra went with her. Amanda, Danielle, and Paige are all sitting together. And Danielle tells Amanda, don't be afraid to confront your friends. You should confront them. And Hannah's telling Sierra that she was just joking about Luke and Des, and she just wanted to laugh with her friends, and she doesn't care what Robert did, because Robert's not Des, which I get, but I was like...
I do get that.
So then Lindsay now joins the girls, and she's like, oh my God, what happened? So she gets the deets, and then Hannah's pissed that Paige isn't defending her, and is pissed they're judging the relationship.
Which...
But like...
can't listen. Hannah does say this feels like last summer, which I never even made that connection. It kind of does. Like they are she has very vocal friends.
Yes.
So I get that does feel like a lot, but can't you tell that this is just how your friends want to talk to you and you don't like to talk, and that's just a difference?
They're different girlfriends. I cannot stress enough. But also, if we were Meredith, if the whole summer we spent it together and you were just bitching about your ex for most of it, and then you show up with this new guy, and then you come to quote unquote joke that your new guy and your ex aren't getting along or whatever, I wouldn't take it as a joke. I'd be like, no, this is causing drama for no reason.
And we talked about this last episode that why does Hannah seek out Luke's opinion or who care? I guess she didn't seek it out. Luke asked her to talk, but why does she care so much what Luke thinks?
Why is it offensive? She also eventually calls Des, I don't know where, but in the future, she calls Des and she's like, Luke said he wasn't the type of, you're not the type of guy he would grab a drink with. And honestly, if I was Des, I'd be like, okay.
Des doesn't drink. That is the first thing. I don't this makes no sense, because it's why do you want your new guy and your ex to go hang out and get a beer, especially
one of them gets a beer, the other one gets a soda. It sounds fun.
They're not the same type of guys.
They don't have to be friends.
So that's not weird.
Des is a comedian. He's sober. He likes to fuck around the house. Luke's he likes fires and flannels. They're different vibe. Yeah. I don't know. But Paige is keeping her mouth shut this summer.
Which I get.
Yeah. She's in the middle of her two best friends. She doesn't want any part of it. But Hannah's just fighting for her man. Honestly, Sarah's so nice though. I know she followed Hannah, but she's not really picking a side. She's just kind of like, I get it.
Paige is doing a really good job about like riding the middle line this summer. I think she's doing her best. I think she's doing way better than last season to not get involved in these things. And Sierra's doing an amazing job of like being like supportive of Hannah, because obviously somebody has to follow Hannah. So she's going to do it. But my favorite thing is when Hannah goes, Paige keeps saying I'm being defensive. I'm not defensive. I'm just defending myself. I'm like, you can't use the two different words of defending.
I'm not defensive. I'm just defending myself.
Like, what?
I hope everyone's still drunk. Okay, whatever. So now we get Lindsay and Steven. Lindsay's hammered.
Oh wow.
She is slurring. She has no idea what's happening. She had such a good day. Really quick, we get a quick cut of Luke making the fire. He's like, hey, everyone, easy. Look out. The flames. It's so Midwestern. We can't go a minute without a fire. So Steven, he thinks the break was good, and now they're connecting and they're hearing each other, and he's happy to be boyfriend, girlfriend, even though they got back together drunk. And Lindsay's like, but I didn't
take it back.
And Steven he's like, we need to be on the same page. I can't send you flowers every day, which I was like, this is good. We're saying it because Lindsay would think.
Yeah, we need to have clear expectations because Lindsay may think this is normal.
But then, of course, Lindsay's like, who would expect that? Me?
I don't expect that. I never would think that would happen. Because I need you to show up every day.
I just need you to show up. And I was like, no, you don't. He showed up for your birthday and you threw a big fucking
And now
fit.
It wasn't enough. Yeah.
He didn't show up enough. And she goes, I just need a piece of my soul, or I just need a piece of your soul in the deepest part of me. And he goes, like, penis? Like, he was like, my penis? And she's like, I get it. She's a mess. But yeah, she doesn't need grand gestures every day, which I disagree. I think this bitch is a grand gesture bitch.
And I don't think a grand gesture equates to like money spent, but she wants a grand gesture like every day. Like she wants him showing up in a grand way every day, which is not feasible. House of 9 people during a pandemic also, when he's working.
If you're in a relationship, she wants, even at the lowest, she wants him to like roll over every morning and look at her and be like, good morning to the most beautiful girl in the entire world. Like, that's not going to happen every morning.
Here's your coffee. Like one thing, like major, which I think that's sustainable to do like one thing a day to show you love her, to go out of your way. But then again, she needs to do that back. It's not like she was doing those things and he wasn't.
I would almost count like a moment of just like a quick hug and be like, I love you. Like that.
Remember when she was like sitting on his lap that one time? That would be a moment in my mind.
That's a moment. You don't need a grand gesture.
But that's not what she wants.
No.
Yeah.
She wants everything.
She wants to be like spoiled and she doesn't want to have to do anything. That's what I think.
Let's talk about the most functional couple besides Amanda and Kyle. It's going to be Robert and Danielle, even though they've only been dating for like 5 minutes, because she thanks him for being really good with the boys. And he's like, oh, I like them. And I was like, oh my God, how is this the most solid relationship?
A relationship can't be that successful if your friends aren't involved too.
I agree. Also, I just want to point out that yesterday, Lindsay posted a picture of her, Danielle, Kyle, and Carl hanging out. No, wait, her, Danielle, Carl, and Robert hanging out.
Ooh.
So Robert's in the Tres Amigos.
Hell yeah.
See, Robert likes the crew. So this is where Hannah calls Des, and she's like, oh my God, Des, I snapped. Like, Luke doesn't want to grab a drink with you. The girls are sad they didn't get to know you. And Des is like, don't get mad and angry. These people get mad over a horse race, which I get.
Which I did think that was hilarious,
that.
Actually.
Like, you're right. But then Des is like, I don't tell you enough, but I love you more than any other.
Well, he says we don't really say it, but I love you, which seemed like it was their like first like official time really saying it, which I thought that was cute.
That was cute.
I think he talked her down well. Like he didn't like bash people, and say like, that's ridiculous. I can't believe. You can tell he's very mature because he's like, he probably thinks this is really petty. She's freaking out about this. He's
basically like, I'm 40 something. I do not care.
Yeah, I don't care if they wanted what they're thinking.
I care if you're sad, but the reason you're sad is stupid. So let's just move on. Okay, so now we're all by the fire. Oh my God. To acknowledge that Luke gives the most Midwestern fire speech. He's like, I just love sitting here by the fire with my
This
good
fire
friends.
has really been my thing this summer.
I love my thing, the fire.
Let's have a good fire.
This is my other favorite bit is Luke in the fire. Like there's many things that have nothing to do with the storyline.
Yes.
And this is it.
It just has kept me alive. It has been a little string going in this whole summer is this fire, him with the fire. And rarely does he have people. So I think him giving a speech as like, the last fire and everyone's sitting around it except for like a few people. Like Hannah and Sierra are there.
By my fire with me. Yeah. Hannah and Sierra are just in the basement or whatever. But Paige loved yesterday, everything she can remember. We're bonding. This is such a bonding moment for the whole group. I just want to take a minute though. Hannah and Sierra hang out in Sierra's room and Hannah's like, I'm going to take a shit in this bathroom. And Sierra's like, wait, I might've taken a shit and not flush. Who does? Sierra.
I know. She's a mess. For being so pretty and like, she seems so put together. She's a mess. She's like behind the curtain. Oh my God. She's a mess.
She at one point we get like a whole look at her room and she's like, I think I need to clean my room. And I was like, girl, I'm 6 weeks ago you needed to clean this. Girlfriend, come on. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna do a practice wedding for Kyle and Amanda. Carl has set up the whole thing. We only have one day, so we're gonna really rehearse the wedding so we all know what we're doing. Carl's the original Kyle and Amanda stan. He loved them before I loved them.
They're all going to wear white. I really love this like whole white theme.
It's very Hamptons.
Robert will be making the food. We got our chef in. And I love that they're like, this is practice for our real wedding, right? Yeah. You want to cook at our real wedding? I was
like, are you free in June? And he's like, maybe. Poor Robert wants to go as a guest.
I know.
I hope Danielle gets invited to the wedding so that Robert can go.
I think she will.
Hannah's not going to that wedding. There's no way.
We'll get there. We'll get to that.
But now we're going to play Jenga, flip cup, whatever. So it's the boys at first. The boys are chilling. Luke, this is where Luke tells Steven that Lindsay has a 5-size ring. And Steven's like, okay. So then Lindsay's in bed, passed out, hammered. But then Danielle comes to wake her up with Charlie the dog that they got like a few seasons ago.
And they got it last season, and I'm so sad they haven't been more of a thing because they used to like party with the animals.
They used to like put the animals next to people before they woke up and be like, oh my God, there's a zebra on my face. But yeah, Lindsay tells Danielle that she's ready to get engaged and have babies right now. Like if Steven proposed tonight, she would say yes, and they get pregnant that night. And Danielle's like, okay,
let's take a beat. Let's like get out of this house first.
That's fine. But then the boys at the same time, they're like, hey man, you gonna propose anytime soon? And he's like, no. I'm just like, oh no, we're on different pages again.
I know. Well, because like Luke brought it up, so everybody's like, whoa, you're planning to propose? And he's like, no.
No, not anytime soon. And Lindsay's like, are we getting pregnant tonight? What's happening? What's going on? Paige calls Perry. Perry's very nervous to pick Paige up when this is all over because he feels like he doesn't even know her. And she's just like, yeah, I've changed. I know what I want and what I don't want.
Which like that, I was like, whoa.
That set him off a little bit. There was so much awkward tension. Perry's awkward. Paige is awkward. Paige has learned that she loves being single. This is us in a nutshell. She doesn't want to answer to someone.
No.
She knows what she wants. She doesn't want to be in a relationship. Like
she doesn't want to be in a relationship with Perry. But I can feel her heart in this because like she's like trying not to like do this on camera. I feel. FaceTime, yeah, this is awkward because like they can't be together. They're clearly not connected. Clearly things are breaking down. So it's like we need to break up, but this isn't how I want to do it. And she doesn't want him to be blindsided, which like shows that it's not like anything major happened. Like they're not breaking up because like he did something, changed. She did something. Yeah, she's just clearly changed.
They're in different parts of their life. Yeah. Okay, well, best of luck to Perry. We'll get back to him.
I kind of hope that gets addressed on the reunion.
I think
we like get a little bit more details.
It might be part 2, but I think it'll get addressed. So now we're back to Jenga. So you either do the Jenga challenge or you take a shot. Everyone's hammered. Paige and Hannah have a little talk where Hannah says she's not mad, but she wishes Paige would have her back. And Paige apologizes, but says it's not her battle, so she's not getting involved.
Yeah, she doesn't want to be put in a difficult place, which Hannah apologizes for, like, putting her, which I think that's awesome. Hannah can recognize.
Yeah. And Paige was great too. She's like, you don't have to apologize to me. Like, I get
this is just what's going on. So, like, we can be understanding towards each other.
So then I think it was Kyle got a challenge to, like, kiss another man on the lips. And I thought he was going to really kiss Robert, and I was so excited, but he didn't. Aww. He just cheek kissed him. But it was cute. Lindsay showed everyone her areola, which happens all the time. I don't know why this is a big thing.
But Steven's not very happy.
No. Danielle Zamboni's a fallen drink. I love
this. Danielle. Is, like, so easy just to take a shot and not show people your boob when you're like, that's a respect thing for your boyfriend.
Yeah, but we've already seen Lindsay's boobs. Also, she paid for them. She's proud.
I guess. Yeah, but she does it all the time. I think that's probably what annoys him, that it's not a one-time thing.
No, yeah. Danielle Zamboni's that drink right in front of Robert. Look at her, suck it up, Robert. Oh my God.
Yeah, because they, like, the tower knocks over and it spills all the drinks, which, like, is always the saddest.
And this is where everyone's like, we don't want the summer to end. This has been the best summer, which, like, I think in a way it kind of has been. I think there's been more fights, but it's been easier to confront the fights because we're all living together.
Yeah.
And then Amanda says, she tells Paige she's gonna be pissed if Lindsay and Steven get engaged at her fake wedding, which I get.
I get too, but we get like this season, like, Amanda talks a lot about, like, Lindsay doing things and ruining her moment. Like, Amanda's becoming like Monica from Friends, where it's like, you're stealing my thunder.
I feel like Lindsay's stolen her thunder before, though.
I guess. I don't know. I always, like, thought Amanda was way more chill about things. Like, this is a fake wedding. And, like, let's be honest, they're not going to get engaged.
No, but whatever. But then I love Paige's response and goes, why don't you make a PowerPoint about it? And I was like, oh.
Paige has had some zingers this season. She is like the talking head in the interviews.
She's so funny. So then, okay, so Lindsay's hammered, right? She was hammered before. She's hammered now. She throws this marker. She's, like, going nuts. And Steven's like, hey, you should drink water. So then she gets mad because he's boring and he's being a dad. Kind of, she needs it because she can't even really stand up, and he's just like, hey, why don't you drink water? But he said it kind of aggressively. He was like, drink water.
Yeah, and then he was like, let's get some coffee in you. Like, he was trying, I think, to, like, reel her in so she could keep partying and wouldn't just, like, become a mess. Which I respect. I like, that's what, like, people, like, someone like Lindsay needs.
You shouldn't be offended if someone's like, do you want water or coffee? Like, you're a little drunk. You should,
especially your boyfriend. It's like, hey, I think you should. Like, they're watching over you.
I'm trying to have your back. So then Lindsay goes downstairs by herself, which I thought was wrong. Steven should have helped her because she could not make it down those stairs well enough. And then she's in the bathroom or in the room texting Steven, like, where are you? Come hang out.
Okay, this was weird to me because she said to him, like, you're so boring, I can't live my life. And then she, like, goes to bed. And she's like, mad that he wants to party. So it's like, who's being, like, the boring one?
But then she's texting him and he obviously doesn't see it because he's partying. Yeah. And it's not like we're out at a club, okay? Like, we're at a house, so the phones can be, like, charging in the corner and no one's gonna look at them. So she's then getting mad. So then she marches back upstairs to yell at him. And she's like, you ignoring my text, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, you need to leave. And Steven's like, fine.
And she doesn't have her mic on. She did not have her mic on because, like, they were dubbing it and it was so quiet.
Yeah, she just was yelling. So then she tells Steven to leave and Steven's like, fine, then I'll leave. Which then
is a whole problem, obviously.
His vibe is too drunk to deal with this because his face is just like, oh.
He, mouth open, catching flies per usual.
So Kyle's like, Lindsay, everything's fine. And no, Steven's packing his shit up. Everyone's yelling. Steven's ready to leave. Lindsay tells Danielle, and Danielle's like, oh God, Lindsay, what have you done? So then she goes to find Steven. She's like, I'm not going to let you leave.
Don't leave like this. Not allowed to leave. Don't leave tonight. Go sleep on a couch.
Put your stuff in my room. Like, blah, blah, blah. And Danielle knows that this is a test. She knows that Lindsay is testing Steven to see if he'll actually leave. But Steven doesn't get this. And also Lindsay keeps telling him to leave. So Steven's like, okay. So Lindsay's crying. Kyle again has no idea what's happening. I love the shots of him. Another great bit from the season was drunk Kyle dealing with drama. So yeah, Kyle then ends the night with eating Tostitos in his bed and telling Amanda how Lindsay's crazy because he just wants to eat his Tostitos.
But Lindsay goes to bed in her bed, and Steven eventually comes back and like lays in the bed with her and does not leave the house. I wish he would have just gone and slept on a couch, but like whatever. He hasn't left, which I think is smart for Danielle to be like, just don't leave now. You can leave tomorrow morning.
Leave tomorrow, not right now. So it's Monday. Luckily, we have the day off because it's a holiday weekend.
Oh, is it Labor Day? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, we're at the end.
That makes so much more sense. I thought they weirdly all just took Monday off.
No, they might have took Tuesday off because now they have to figure out how to get home. Whatever. But Robert literally first thing turns to Danielle and goes, "I can't believe all that drama happened last night." Like Robert is just,
I'm like, Robert,
this is nuts. Poor Robert.
On. What do you think you stepped into?
Danielle's never involved, so he probably thought like Danielle's not involved in the drama, so she's just, we're fine. But then when you live in it constantly,
it's like you're in it because like you could hear Lindsay scream and she was not mic'd.
Kyle and Amanda, they're ready to get fake married. Yay. Steven and Lindsay are not because they're not talking. Paige dreamt she was at a Yankee game with her high school boyfriend and then she fucked him. And Hannah knows her and Amanda need to talk. So there's a lot happening. So Steven wants to talk to Lindsay first thing in the morning, but Lindsay hasn't had her coffee yet, so she's not ready. Meanwhile, Hannah's in the kitchen and Amanda like comes up and she's like, "Hey, how's it going?" It's like kind of awkward, but not really. And she just is like, "I'm gonna sit with you. Is that okay?" And Hannah's like, "Sure." So I think this was great on Amanda. Listen, season 1 or 2, Amanda wouldn't have done this.
Went beautifully, I think.
Yeah. Hannah feels like last night was heated, and Amanda says she was upset that Kyle's the reason that Des feels uncomfortable. Like she doesn't want that.
Yeah, like why was Kyle brought up into it?
Yeah, and Hannah says that she loves Amanda, but the only reason they fight is when Kyle's involved, which is hard because Kyle's her fiance. So
yeah.
And Amanda's like, "Why do you bring Kyle up to hurt me?" And Hannah's like, "No." I don't think she knows why she brings Kyle up.
I agree. I don't think she's like lying or trying to like not say this like or to. I don't think Hannah knows like what she like her triggers. I don't think she realizes what she's doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Hannah just wanted her friends to understand her, but there's no reason to have an issue. And Amanda's like, "Okay, yeah, Kyle and Hannah have issues, but you keep bringing Kyle up, Hannah. Like you keep bringing him up." And we get the receipts of Hannah bringing up Kyle and yelling at how Kyle sucks and how much she hates Kyle, which like, I don't know, we'd get the receipts, but they were crazy.
Yeah.
And Amanda says it's hard to blindly defend Hannah as a friend when it's against her fiance because she can't just pick one. She has to have both their back.
Hannah is understanding about that. She says like, I get that. Like this is a complicated position. I don't want you to have to like choose or do this. But they both acknowledge that the friendship has changed. Amanda really talks about how like you can still be friends with people, but like the style of your friendship can change. Which just made me really think about things on my own life.
It is. I mean, I appreciate how Amanda says that in order for her and Hannah to be good, Hannah and Kyle need to be good.
Yeah.
That's her.
You can be friends from afar and like you can be just friends outside of like the group and not really be that close anymore. And just they could probably sustain their friendship if Hannah's not a part of the group and just do one-on-one like coffees.
Yeah.
Because clearly the issue is with Hannah and Kyle. They just don't work.
If Hannah stops talking shit, because if I'm engaged and one of my friends keeps talking shit for, I'm not going to say for no reason, but like we thought we had gotten over the reason. Yeah. And she keeps talking shit, or she, like if one of my friends is telling her boyfriend, like, "Oh my God, you don't want to hang out with the group because Kyle sucks," then I'm going to be like, "Bro, we got an issue now." Like, stop.
What's interesting is Hannah is like the number one person to bring things up with Kyle and Amanda. But when the girls brought up the fact that Des didn't hang out with them, Hannah's like freaks out.
You're right.
And the girls brought it up in a very chill way, like, well, like we just wish we got to spend more time with him.
It's not like they even said anything bad. They're just like, y'all were fucking the whole time. So
yeah, like you didn't let us see him that much, so like it's hard to have an opinion.
Hannah's a mess. We'll talk about it at the end, but Hannah's a fucking mess. So it's Monday afternoon. We're setting up for this ceremony and cocktail hour. Luke has an axe, so it's fun.
This is a really good axe. True Minnesota
He's like
boy.
standing in his room like, what a great axe. And I'm like, this is great. All right. It's for his firewood. Danielle and Carl have the cutest friendship. They're so excited to set up. This is why Danielle needs to be in the wedding, because she loves this relationship so much.
I know. Danielle is just such a supportive person, no matter like what level you are.
Yeah.
Like friendship in her life. She seems very supportive.
She's here to help everyone. Steven's working. Surprise, surprise.
Okay, when we get that shot of Steven, I noticed it looks like there's a camera going into that mirror on the wall. Yes. And that's the shot. I kept thinking there was another room because you can see the frame.
I kept thinking there was a hallway.
Yes. You can see the frame of the mirror. And so it looks like it's like a doorway or something, but it just...
It took me so long to figure this out.
I was like, today's years old. This episode is when I figured that out.
I'm still having issues. Like,
I'm annoyed.
Like, I know it's happening. I don't know when I figured it out, but I was like, oh, it's not another room because they're just in her room. But then
it was when Steven came back and we got a shot of them talking and you could see the desk in the corner. And I was like, are you kidding me?
But even now, like when we got this shot, I was still like, oh, he's in the other room. Like my brain initially is like, oh, and then I'm like, it doesn't even.
It's an optical illusion.
I hate it. Bravo, stop. But Lindsay's still ignoring him, which is good because he's working now. It's not the time.
It's so awkward though.
Oh man, could cut it with a knife. Tension's so thick. Okay, so Hannah tells Paige about her talk with Amanda, and Hannah just hates that their friendship deteriorated and she can't forget how Kyle talked to her. And Paige agrees with Hannah, but she knows Amanda has to have Kyle's back.
Yeah.
And Hannah just says like, maybe some people aren't meant to be my friends, which like maybe so.
And it's true. And honestly, like she says, I'm finally being real. And if that's the reason I lose some friendships, they weren't meant to be real, which I agree. Like, it seems like Hannah was like holding her tongue last season and just like not probably saying things that she wanted to say. And now she's like being open and honest with her feelings. I don't think she goes about it the right way, but I always want people to be honest with like what they're feeling or thinking. Yeah.
So now we're setting up for the wedding. The boys are making the altar. I hope they put that axe to good use. Danielle and Lindsay talk about last night. And so Lindsay's basically like, I don't think my boyfriend likes me. And Danielle's like, no, he doesn't right now. And Lindsay's confused because she's like, why is Steven upset? Like, am I the problem in this relationship? And she said it rhetorically, like, what? It's me? And Danielle's like, yes, it is you. And Lindsay's face is what? And I was like, oh, Lindsay didn't think there was going to be an answer.
Yeah. Oh. And Danielle says, like, there's a reason. Like, Lindsay, you keep pushing him away. Like, you're testing him. And Lindsay starts to think about it and realizes, like, she pushes people to see at what point they'll leave. Which, if you push people hard enough, if you keep doing it, they are going to leave eventually. Nobody's just going to keep putting up with more and more and more and more.
Yeah, no. But she just doesn't trust that Steven's not going to leave again. So she keeps testing it. And Danielle's like, okay, let's get real. Do you want to be with Steven? And Lindsay doesn't know, which, all right. Let's get to some.
If you've already had some problems and you keep telling someone to leave, they're going to leave when they've already left once.
Especially if you do it all the time, like for no reason. Given, I get it. She was drunk last night, but she doesn't have to be that fucking mad. Like, just go to bed.
Yeah. Like, that wasn't a fight where I'd be like, leave. It was over her being drunk and not texting back.
Even the moment Lindsay gets even remotely upset, her first thing she says is leave.
Yeah.
Which, like, if you're always going to tell me to leave. And imagine I'm in like a New York apartment, like she's probably pushing him out the door and it's this big fucking thing and he's like, okay, I'm leaving because you literally pushed me out the door. And she's probably like, wait, you're leaving? And he's like, I'm sorry,
I can't keep up.
You're speaking English, right? Like, I can't right now.
Yep.
Okay, happier times. Robert's cooking, dancing around the kitchen.
Oh my gosh,
this made me so hungry. It looked so good. Kyle and Amanda are talking because Kyle's going to ask Carl to be his co-best man with Kyle's brother.
I love
And then Amanda's like, okay, I'm going to ask Paige to be a bridesmaid. And
which, okay, like, do you, these reactions seemed very real when they did ask them. So I think this was an honest moment where they truly asked them.
I do too.
But like their wedding was supposed to be in 2 weeks. Granted, they probably already had pushed it out way far in advance.
Yeah.
But like, I'm kind of shocked these people weren't asked before, like a while back, like when they got engaged and started planning.
I think part of me kind of thinks that Kyle and Amanda were kind of slow with planning. And then when it got pushed back, they were like, we'll just keep pushing back planning. Like, I think they probably knew in their minds, like, who they were going to ask, but it was like, we'll just keep pushing it back a little bit, you know? Which honestly is probably the best, because I have a friend who was going to do a COVID wedding. Remember the friend I bitched about who like didn't ask me to be in her wedding, but at the end of the day, it's like fine. She actually is having issues now with one of her bridesmaids like a year later because they still haven't gotten married, kind of thing. And she like vents to my friend who's a bridesmaid and was like, I wish I hadn't asked her. And my friend's like, you shouldn't have asked for a wedding that wasn't going to happen. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this is smart. What? I mean, if Paige had taken Hannah's side, who knows? Maybe she wouldn't be in the
True.
But yeah, so Kyle does bring up like, what about Hannah? And Amanda's just like, she might be butthurt, but this is what I feel, which I know I was butthurt that my friend didn't ask me, but at the end of the day, it is her wedding.
Yeah.
And like,
you can only have so many people.
Yes, it's your wedding. You do you. I can't get mad at someone because I wouldn't want someone to get mad at me.
No.
So we're still setting up for the wedding. Sadly, the fire pit has to go. Oh, my heart. Hannah's on the phone, but they need help setting up. So then she gets yelled at by Luke to like get down here. But then she hasn't done anything all day. But this is a common thing. Like it's like Sierra, Hannah, and Paige don't really do anything.
Yes, which like it like slowly comes to light. You slowly see moments where it is frustrating. Like the whole house is setting up for this.
Yeah.
Except for Amanda and Kyle, which I saw some after show stuff, and Amanda said she felt bad because they had already done Kyle's birthday for them, and she felt bad that they were then doing this whole wedding. But when like 3 people are leading the charge, Danielle, Carl, and
Lindsay.
Yeah, Danielle, Carl, and and Luke are pretty much doing the main things. And then Steven's working, Robert's cooking, so that doesn't really count. And he's not really in the group. Lindsay's not really helping. She's like dealing with her personal problems. Hannah's on the phone and like actually gets called. That's the worst, is when you get called out and you're still not helping.
Also, Hannah's basically just watching them work out. Like if I'm not trying to set up, I'm gonna hide.
That's the thing.
Doing some other
shit.
I'm not
gonna busy in another way.
Yeah, I'm not gonna openly show you I'm not doing anything. Also, at this point in time, still Hannah and Amanda are considered like good friends. So why aren't you setting up for your good friend's wedding kind of thing? Like Paige is hiding. She's gone. She's like, I'm doing something else.
You gotta,
maybe she's helping
look
Amanda.
Busy.
Yeah, you gotta look busy. Take out the trash, Hannah.
I do this every time my family has a party. You like go somewhere else. You're like, I'll run the errands. So then you can just be away from the house. Or
you do like a quick, like, oh, I got to finish getting ready. I got to do my makeup. And then you sit and watch TV. You can't be doing nothing in the open.
Like, sorry. Like, Paige is probably like, I have to record something. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm taking pictures. Or I think Paige was doing that. Like, I have to help Amanda with her dress. Yes. That's a move. Move. But Luke's happy for Hannah and Des, but Luke's he's also happy he's not getting yelled at for no reason, which
Hannah is a weight off of his shoulders, his problem.
Good for that. Okay, so it's nighttime. It's time for the ceremony. Everyone's ready in white. Kyle has to go to Carl's room to get ready. So then Paige goes into Amanda's room to get ready.
I have one question. Why do the guys wear black boxers with white pants? Kyle was in black boxers.
Oh, I don't know.
I literally was like, this makes no sense to me.
Do you have white boxers? Like, I don't have white underwear.
But you have like nude. Yeah. Which guys don't, I feel like, have nude underwear.
But like underwear?
But wouldn't you have like one pair of white boxers for this moment?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a guy.
I'm shocked you can't see them through.
Well, those are some good ass pants then.
I really thought hard about that.
That's a good question. Now I'm considering Googling it. We'll see. So Amanda looks amazing. Let's just talk about it for a minute. That dress. Amanda's the prettiest person in the world. I can't handle it. Oh, I have such a girl crush. So she has something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. It's so cute. Paige is really helping. Amanda then sits Paige down and starts crying immediately because she's telling Paige what an amazing friend Paige is. Now she wants Paige to be a bridesmaid. And of course, Paige starts crying because she says yes. And it's so cute. And Paige is like, I've never been a bridesmaid. And Amanda goes, I've never gotten married.
Which I love.
I really like this friendship. I was against it last season, but I'm really into it this season.
They're the same type of friends. Like they give each other the same thing back. Yeah.
Yes. So obviously Paige accepts. And then Kyle asks Carl to be his best man because they're best friends. And they don't cry, but they're emotional. They're like, this is emotional, man, but there's no tears. So it's like, cute.
And Carl's so honored. He looks up to Kyle. Like he feels like he's a few steps ahead of him in some things. Like he doesn't really, I think, want the partying side of Kyle.
Yeah, but Kyle's a few steps ahead. Carl's following in his footsteps, but it's so cute. They work together. They're besties. And Carl said it. He's the Stan. He is the original Kyle and Amanda Stan, which I love that Carl and Amanda have a separate friendship. Like
me too.
That makes me happy. Like I feel like Amanda could call Carl and be like, "Hey man, you want to grab lunch or something?" And it wouldn't be weird. Like I love that.
And this makes me feel like Amanda's gonna find someone for Carl. So because later on, after the in the reception part of it, they talk and Amanda's like, we're going to find you someone. And he's like, I think I'm ready.
Me. I wrote down, you'll see my note. I was like, me, Carl, I'm coming to New York. I'm coming for you, babe. No worries. I got it. And now I'm going to be on season 7, because we're going to meet in August. Season 7 of Summer House. Everyone, please be ready for me.
Perfect.
I will be Carl's girlfriend and I will make his life a living hell probably because I'm a monster. Anyway.
Beautiful. That's how we like it.
Let's talk about Sierra. She took a big leap of faith coming into this house. 1,000,000%. She loved it though. It worked out. She loves these girls. We're doing good.
It was crazy. These people are crazy, but it weirdly worked out.
Robert is going through the kitchen trying to cook things and he finds the handle of Tito's and he's like, oh good, alcohol. He's worried. He's just like, am I going to get sleep? Are people going to yell at us? So then Lindsay goes to talk to Steven. Steven's they haven't talked all day. Steven's lighting these candles and Lindsay's like, what you doing? And he goes, lighting candles. And she goes, wow, real candles? And I was like, oh,
this is where we're trying to break the ice of awkwardness. And she's like, we're going to burn the house down with so many candles.
Can't believe these I thought we'd get fake ones. Bravo's really, really giving it up to us. It's so awkward. But Lindsay tells Steven about her conversation with Danielle and she realizes that she needs to stop pushing Steven to the point where he feels like he needs to leave, and tells him about her abandonment issues, which I think is a good,
this conversation needs to happen. So then he knows what you're doing, that you are trying to push him away and it's a trigger thing. And so he knows how to interact, that he, in a sense, he needs to know it's a test that you don't actually want him to leave.
Yeah, and he apologizes for packing his stuff and she apologizes for her part in it. And Lindsay tells Steven she's not ready to live with him yet.
Good.
But she wants to make this relationship work. And I think Steven was like, thank God. This is what I was going for.
Because also, if they're not moving in together, that means they're not getting engaged. They're not trying for babies. Like, Lindsay is slowing her roll.
Her timeline is fucked. It's over. She's got to find a new one. But if Steven does run away, it's over. So,
which I like that. She says, I'm not doing this. This is a trigger for me. Even if I think that tells him, even if I say it when I'm drunk, I don't mean it.
Yeah. So, I know they are not currently together. So I wonder if he ran away.
I wonder if he's on the reunion at all. If they bring him in at this point.
Probably not. That. I'm sure Lindsay's going to be like, the relationship just didn't work out and they're just going to end it. Oh, I'm sure. I don't know. Whatever.
I want gossip.
So Kyle's first look at Amanda. Should we talk about it? She is so beautiful and he loves it. He's get close to tears and she's close to tears. And oh my God, they're so cute and so happy.
They say it feels very real for them. They wish their parents were there because this is just getting them so excited. But Kyle says, I think he says it in his interview, postponing their wedding has allowed them to really enjoy time together and get closer. And this has made their relationship stronger.
I love it.
It's all about the trials you go through, and if you come out stronger on the other side, and clearly I think they're really gonna make it.
I think so too. I doubted this relationship at first, but I stand it now. Well, let's get fake married. Also, side note, Paige, while they're waiting for Amanda and Kyle, says she's going to get hammered tonight.
I love it. I think she's just like over. Everybody's like, this has been so fun. And she's like, I'm kind of over it. Let's just go out with a banger.
We're getting drunk. So Amanda starts crying when she walks down the stairs because it's so cute and so nice. And then Sierra was almost about to cry.
They're all standing on the steps. Hannah says, there's a 50% chance of divorce. And everyone's like, seriously? Yeah. I just like the comments where I'm like, this isn't funny.
It's not funny. And that's where this like tension comes from. Yes. Like you're kind of causing it. But the setup's very cute. They have like a white sheet covering the stairs and like the altar of wood that Luke cut down with his axe. And Carl's the one fake marrying them. And it's very cute.
Oh my God. I love how he talks about their like practice wedding. You know, like everybody needs a good practice for things. And then they like do a whole I do of like, will you get married
in 2021? They're life mates and business partners. And I was like, oh my God.
I like that he does a, like the group, like a we do, like, will you support them and like be there at the, like,
yeah. I also love the like, two people in love realistically don't live in a house with 9 other people. And I was like, oh yeah. But Carl says to everyone else, we need to stop gossiping and support them in their marriage. And everyone says, I do. Yes. And so they kiss and now we're going to get drunk and we go to dinner and Chef Robert has the most bomb ass meal. I'm hungry thinking about it.
I am literally like, wow.
The steak, the salad, what else did he have? He had like bread of some, oh my God. I was like,
it looked amazing.
Oh wow. Shit. And then Paige says something like, Danielle, this is how you're eating for the rest of your life. And I was like,
you're so lucky.
And Sierra's like, I didn't know I wanted to marry a chef until right now. And I was like, I know, same.
Well, Amanda is like, we don't deserve this. Thank you so much. Like,
so cute. And I think Robert was just happy to be away from the group, make some food, do what he loves.
And like, this is the first, it seems like this is the first time he's cooked for them. Maybe something happened in like the last few days that we didn't see, but this is the first like meal they're really getting out of him. So he like, this is his labor of love. Like that's what he loves to do.
Thank God that he had a stove to do this with. Can you imagine how disrespectful it would have been if Chef Robert
Dude, I didn't see him touch the stove. We don't know if the stove's working.
The oven's working. How else are you going to make the meat?
They have the toaster ovens and then they have the like
toaster ovens. Oh my God, Robert.
No, they have like little hot plates. So that's like the stove, the stove. And then they have toaster ovens for like the oven.
I'm going to assume he used the stove in the oven because he deserves it.
I'm saying if he did this on the hot plate in the toaster oven, he's even better chef
do you know how
than
much
ever.
Steak was there? How do you put that in the toaster oven?
It's like when people make amazing meals when they're like camping over like a grill. I'm like, how the fuck do you do this?
I can't even do that with a full kitchen. Yeah. I don't even know. But it's so cute. Luke got another fire going. So we got 2 in one episode. That's crazy. So many fires. Amanda's going to throw her bouquet. Sorry. And Sierra got it. And Paige Instagrammed it and was like, Sierra came out of nowhere. She just reached it out of Lindsay's hands and was like, me. And then she's like, I don't know why I caught this. I have no eligible suitors. And I was like, cool.
Oh, she came in.
It's a fake wedding, Sierra. You're going to get fake suited. We're fine. Amanda and Carl, this is where they have their cute little moment. Carl loves this relationship so much. And Amanda's just so excited. The right girl will come for Carl. Carl thinks Amanda made Kyle a better man. Next summer, Carl, don't worry. You got a girlfriend coming for you.
I bet there are a lot of girls sliding into his DMs right now.
I know, but I'll have to do it more sneakily. I'll have to find out where they party and then I'll show up.
I was going to say, you have to meet in the city and then randomly also see him in the Hamptons next summer.
Yeah. And be like, hey, aren't you Carl?
Crazy. Hey.
We met. And he's going to be like, I don't remember. You probably know me from Summer House. And I'm going to be like, I do have a podcast, actually. Thank you.
I am a stan of your stan. Kyle and Amanda.
Yeah. Hello. Sorry about your brother. That was very sad.
Don't bring up the brother.
I cried with you. And he's going to be like, what the fuck? Okay. So let's eat. It's amazing. And then we do speeches. Also, everyone loves Robert. I just want to say it. Everyone loves Robert. I love Robert. Meredith loves Robert. If Meredith didn't love Robert, she'd be off the podcast. Justin and Jackie love Robert. We all love Robert. It's Robert. Tracy, Mariah, love Robert.
We're speaking for you. Robert,
I love Robert. Okay, so speeches. Paige goes first, but her speech is really only for Amanda. And she just talks about how they're best friends and how last summer she told her friend she went on a date with a beautiful blonde with green eyes.
I love this speech.
They thought that it was a boy, and she's like, no, it was Amanda, and we fell in love, and it was cute.
Like, I met a friend, and I didn't know we'd become best friends, and I'm so excited to be in your real wedding.
As your real bridesmaid, and Kyle's
cut to Hannah.
Yeah, but Hannah's pissed.
She's stone-faced.
Yeah, she says it's really hard because she thought it was always the three of them, but Hannah stood up for Kyle, and Paige was silent.
Up to Kyle.
Reward. Or sorry, what did I say?
Stood up for Kyle.
Oh no, she stood up to Kyle. Sorry. And Paige was silent, so this is Paige's reward. And Sierra asks if Hannah knew, and Hannah says no. And then Hannah
I think that's what's jacked up. But now knowing the time frame of when this happened, like Paige got asked right before the ceremony thing. So it is really difficult, I think, the timing wise. But Paige should have told Hannah that she was asked to be in the wedding. And then also, I don't like how big, like if I were Paige, I would be really upset by that comment Hannah made. Like, she basically only got to be in the wedding.
I would be
chose
pissed.
Not to, she chose to stay quiet.
I would too. And then Hannah tells the producer she doesn't really want to go to the wedding.
Well, they ask her. They're like, do you want to go to that wedding? And so she goes, no.
Yeah, I put the producer in there because the producer really had to dig for it.
This is what I don't like about Hannah. It's like she wants to say all these things on camera. If you really value that relationship, you would not say things like this on camera.
Yeah, she should probably have said something like, well, I'm hurt, but like
I don't feel like I'm wanted at the wedding is what I would have phrased it as.
I would have been like, I want to go and support my friend, but like if she doesn't want me there, that's what I kind of feel like. So then it's like, Amanda can't tell you how you feel, but she straight up was like, I don't want to go to the wedding. So Amanda and Kyle are going to watch that and be like, okay.
And it's so late in the season.
It's bad.
I'm curious because when they do reunions, typically they get the episodes a week or a few days in advance, I think, before they actually air. Mm-hmm. And then because they obviously film the reunion in advance, they get all the episodes before, like the rest of the episodes right before they film. So Amanda and Kyle have seen this before the reunion.
So it's fresh. It's fresh because they probably got this right before the reunion.
And they probably are about to send out invites. My cousin's wedding is first weekend in June, and they sent out invites like a week ago. Mm-hmm. Or I got it a week ago. Yeah. So their invites are probably going out right now. So if they've seen this, do you still send that invite?
No. Trash it. You're going to trash the wedding. You're going to trash the bridesmaid. You're going to trash.
It's kind of like Stassi on Vanderpump.
Yeah, no, you're not coming
for Sheena's wedding.
That's like if you're going to trash, if you're going to trash it, you were going to be a bridesmaid. You're going to trash my wedding. You're not coming. Sorry.
Yeah,
it's my wedding.
Anyways,
so we have Carl's speech. Kyle and Carl cannot remember the first time they met, but whatever it was, they became Kyle and Carl.
And it just goes together.
Without Kyle, there's no summer. We raise a glass to the couple. It's so cute. Besties. I love boy besties. I think it's so cute. Okay, so then we turn up. We have a dance party. We have Robert and Danielle taking a little stroll by the fire. Thank God Luke made this fire because it's hella romantic. Ooh. And they do a little kiss. And then Danielle tells Robert that she wants to be with Robert and he feels the same. And I was like, I think they become boyfriend, girlfriend. But
my friends and I talked about this weekend, or because like one of my friends watches the show. And I was like, when adults ask each other to be boyfriend and girlfriend, it makes me so uncomfortable. Like I felt uncomfortable with this. Like,
yeah, they didn't say it. Because I was like, I think they're official because Robert said something like, obviously, like I don't feel the need to ask you, and then everyone like runs over and is like, hey,
it's like understood. They're trying not to use the like phrase like, will you be my girlfriend?
I'm sure that cameraman is like, keep going. The producer behind is like, just say it. And
Robert's it's so uncomfortable asking, like you feel like you're in sixth grade asking someone to be your girlfriend or boyfriend.
I think Danielle saying that she just wanted to be with Robert and him being like, I feel the same. I feel like that's fine. Like whatever.
They're saying it without saying it.
He was so awkward. He's like, I don't feel the need to ask you, which I was like, don't do it.
Please
You're
don't.
Fine.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure Bravo was like, Robert, ask her. And they were like,
no.
He was like, I don't want to.
But yeah, everyone comes over and Daniel's like, I'm his girlfriend. And everyone's like,
I was like that. I was like,
that's what you need. You need to say the word to other people when he's around. So it's like, oh yeah, we're boyfriend and girlfriend. It's not the, hey, will you? It's just like, we are.
We are. Also, this is where Paige is like, you're going to eat so good forever. And I was like, oh my God, my heart. I love Paige's one. You're right. Her zingers, her one-line zingers are so funny.
Yep.
So every summer we end the same. We all get naked and jump in the pool. And this summer cannot be any different. So we all do it. Not everyone gets naked, but that's fine.
Paige is still in her full fucking dress, which
Paige just jumped the fucking. Amanda's like almost naked. She's wearing her thong. I think
fully naked.
Kyle got fully naked. I think Hannah was in her dress too. Robert didn't even jump in the pool. He was like, "This is nuts. I gotta go."
I'm not part of it. I'm not part of the cast. I've just been here for a few days.
I'm gonna guess Steven took off his shirt and just kept his pants on and jumped in because that's what kind of person Steven is. Lindsay got full butt ass naked. It's fine. But they love each other at the end of the day. The whole cast goes around, talks about how great the summer was. Paige especially really loves these fools. It's great.
There is no one else that Paige would have picked to spend 6 weeks together except these psychos.
Oh, I love it. The end.
Oh, but now what's on the reunion?
I feel like we usually at the end of a season don't get like the coming up on the reunion. Or am I wrong?
I don't think we do. I think that not at the end of the episode. I don't think they do.
No,
it usually ends because a lot of times it ends with like the typical way they do the Housewives is they'll give you a screen, like a picture of each person and give you a little update. I don't think Summer House really does that or any of the other shows, but they usually end.
Yeah.
I think Southern Charm might have given us the same thing.
I don't know.
Usually drop it maybe a day or two later.
I know Vanderpump doesn't, I don't think, but I think Summer or Southern Charm might. But this is really the first Summer House big reunion.
Reunion. They always did it during Watch What Happens Live. So you can't really find them going back.
But let's talk about this reunion. So Hannah on this reunion is roasting Kyle and Amanda's relationship. And we asked the question, did Luke and Lindsay hook up? And Paige definitely thinks so. And Danielle's getting involved now. So then Paige tells her, fuck you, Danielle. And I was shocked. Oh, no.
That's usually not Paige's move.
I know. Kyle confronts Hannah, and Hannah and Amanda don't have a friendship anymore, which this was set up as like, Andy, like, what about the friendship? And Amanda goes, what friendship? And I was like,
I agree. I don't think it's to the point where like they're like enemies. Like I've read that Hannah doesn't speak to Luke anymore at all. Like she has cut him out. I don't think it's to the point where they're cutting each other out of their lives, but they're not actively friends. They like, I'm sure they'll hang out and do random things, but they're not like seeking to hang out with each other. I personally don't think.
Hannah said that Carl has a drug problem on a podcast.
Somebody posted, I was like going through our Vanderpasta Instagram, and somebody posted the receipts of the podcast. It was on Danny Pellegrino's podcast, and she didn't say he has a drug problem, but she was detailing a night out in previous summer where like people were like snorting Adderall. And she basically says it's a constant thing. So she's like alluding to they're like, this is a constant drug use.
Oh, I'm going to listen to Danny Pellegrino's podcast. I'll report back later. Kyle runs away from the reunion. I love when people get up.
Hannah walks away too.
I know. And Luke, that's when Luke has something to say. And Hannah's like, I'm not listening to it, and runs away. And I was like,
I do love when people storm off.
I love that. Oh, I'm so excited. I love a reunion. We're such reunion.
And it's 2-part. We get 2. So we do end up with 14 episodes this season, which is the same as last season.
Which is fine. It was great. I love it. Should we fun, not fun, and then talk about all of our opinions with Jackie and Dustin? Yeah. Okay. So fun, not fun.
I basically have someone who's not fun, and then
let's do not fun.
Okay. I said drunk Lindsay.
Oh, yeah. She is
just drunk fun. Lindsay. She was not fun. I don't even want to talk about it because she's just crazy.
I'm sorry. I have to say Hannah. She always just has like the sour face, like, 50% of marriages end in divorce. Like, you're not fun. You just kill the mood. And I think she thinks she's being funny because, like, when I listen to her podcast on Girls Gotta Eat, that's very much her kind of humor.
But it's like, read the room.
Which is fine. But, like, like, I'm very, like, dark humor too. But
here's the thing. If she was saying that, like, while her and Hannah are getting ready, or, like, a snide comment to, like, Sierra as they're getting ready, it's like, I wonder, like, always like 50%. Like, I don't think it would be a big deal. But the fact, it's like the when and where those jokes get told, I feel like are really bad.
I completely agree. She just,
because you're making a joke out of this, like, and it is a joke thing, but like they're
really engaged, really gonna get married.
It's a dig. Like, they did this because, like, they were supposed to get married a week later.
Yeah. I can't. She's not fun. Not fun.
Yeah.
Hannah, not fun. Drunk Lindsay, not fun. I can't wait till we actually watch that. And it's Amanda, not fun. But Amanda's fun.
Who'd you put as fun?
Oh my God. I have to pick Amanda. I just think she's I was never an Amanda stan, and this season got me. She has gotten me. I have a girl crush on her. She got fake married. She asked Paige to be her bridesmaid. She looked fucking fantastic in her dress. Kyle's more in love with her than he's ever fucking been in his life. She thanks Robert so nicely. She's like, she balances the girl group really well, like the girls that don't do anything, Sierra, Hannah, and Paige. But she also balances, like, Kyle's group friend. Like,
she's good with everyone.
Perfect with everyone. She's a friendship with everyone. This was Amanda's season.
Yeah. I put everyone because I just, like, thought everyone this was such a great moment. Like, I mean, there were, like, obviously Hannah made those comments, but, like, this looked like a really fun day for everyone.
It was fun. Oh, everyone's
even, like, the little problems and the little comments, because, like, Steven and Lindsay had their tiff. Like,
even
Amanda and Hannah had a little thing. Like, the evening when they're all eating dinner, like, Paige said it, like, fake wedding, but real friends. Like,
yeah. Oh my God.
They were just all
everyone, even Steven was fun. Even Robert was fun. Like, everyone was just fun. Oh, I love that. Okay, let's talk about Chit. I told you this already, but I think Bravo cut all ties with Hannah. That's what I've heard.
Yeah. Okay. Because did you see that they released the Winter House?
Yes.
A Winter House, like, trailer. It's not a trailer. It is. They're playing, like, tug of war in the snow, and they, like, name drop, or, like, they tag different people, but they didn't tag everyone's name. There are people in there. Like, I think Danielle was in it, and they didn't, like, put her name.
Yeah, they put, like, Kyle, Amanda, Austin, Craig, Carl, Lindsay,
Paige, and Sierra.
I'm surprised at Lindsay. I was like, the fuck you doing here? But yeah, I saw Danielle. It went so fast. It was like,
I know. I watched it like 4 or 5 times
just to get the names alone.
And you can't, like, the sucky thing. I wonder if they put it on Facebook, because then you could, like, pause it. But you can't pause it on Instagram.
There has to be more people. I wish there were more Southern Charm people. I know I keep saying that, but it's just gonna be Southern House plus 2. Or, like, I wish,
which
like,
sucks.
Tom Schwartz came, or, like, some random shit from Vanderpump, like,
or even, like, Shep. I would take Shep.
Honestly, throw Catherine in there. Let's just make it a big shit show. Like, are there girls? I know
there's, like, Cameron. I wish from the old season, if, like, or from the old cast, like, if Chelsea was still there, I bet she would have done it.
Oh, Chelsea's awesome.
Since they changed up their cast, and a lot of them are, like, dating, or, like, it's just weird. Yeah. But you said Craig's girlfriend is coming, didn't you?
I heard Craig's girlfriend.
At least for some of it, like, maybe, like, Robert.
Yeah, my roommate, she's a big Bravo person. Like, I think the only thing she watches is Bravo. Mm-hmm. So she gets she's, like, on Bravo Reddit and stuff. So that's where she read that Craig's girlfriend's gonna, like, roll through, we think.
That would make sense to me.
She was also the one that read that Bravo cut ties with Hannah. They just don't really like her. And
well, I don't think they cut ties because she's on that chat room thing. I bet they cut ties with her.
Not cut ties, but they just don't really want to deal
Summer
with
House
her.
has cut ties.
Yeah, I think it's more of, like, she's kind of a pain to deal with, is what my roommate told me. So they just don't really, like, want her around.
I bet, like, the showrunner of Summer House said, you know what? Actually, I'm going to ask my cousin because he knows the showrunner of Summer House.
Yeah, find out what happened. But I know Hannah didn't get asked to do Winter House purposely. Like, they didn't want her around. I'm sure she's fine in interview settings. Like, she seems fine. She loves doing like promos and stuff, but she's just not a great castmate. And I think everyone kind of saw that and was like, yeah, I don't know. Okay,
this
Jackie
isn't like
says,
fun drama. This just really doesn't add any like good drama.
It's just like, it makes us all go like, ugh. Like, even the Luke shit, I was like, ugh, we're gonna deal with this again. And then Des showed up and I was like, oh, what? She never had another storyline.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Okay, so Jackie says, oh, where to start? Not Hannah's best season. She was a mess. Girl, don't we know it? We are hearing the cast is not happy with her. Oh my God, Jackie, maybe it's the cast. Maybe the cast hates her. Lindsay knows in her gut her and Steven are not good, so she's just so ready to settle down and have kids. She's considering it. I agree. This girl's a mess too.
I think she just needs to have a kid on her own.
Yeah, she'd be a great single mom. And I don't mean that as like single mom, but I think she could really raise a kid and give it a great life.
She's very successful. She like is financially independent. She does not need a man.
No, she doesn't. I think she just wants it. Okay, and then thank goodness Luke is finally not public enemy number 1. I'm glad he had a nice end to the season. He deserved it. Jackie, I kind of agree. I agree. Think this was that bad this season.
Until I knew about the Des timeline, I do think he just doesn't understand boundaries and how people interpret things. And that's just something he needs to work on his own. But like, he's not like a malicious person.
Yeah, I agree. If I were Kyle and Amanda, I would have totally just gotten married for real.
Me too. I really thought they were going to.
I heard on Danny Pellegrino's podcast that they were thinking about Amanda's parents' yard for the wedding. I think they are tired of losing deposits. I agree. Good. Yeah, they should get married.
I think they are for sure getting married on June 18th, 2021. Yeah, though.
No matter what. I got to listen to Danny Pellegrino's podcast when there's like people we cover more.
Yeah, I need to
I think I listened to a Sheena one, remember, for our Vanderpump one, and I was like,
yes, and that's when we found out.
Sheena.
Yeah.
Okay, Danielle, Robert's boyfriend, is the cutest. Oh my God, Jackie. Cooking for everyone. I'm super happy they're still together. Reunion looks nuts. Can't wait. Jackie, I hope Robert comes to the reunion, but also he's too good for the reunion. He's just so cute.
I just want Steven and Robert to stop by for just a small little segment about the boyfriends of the house.
Yeah.
And I want more information. And then that's when we can talk about Perry and Paige.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, Dustin gave us some thoughts, so I'll run.
And they're already in New York. It's so easy to bring them in. It's not like they would have to fly across the country.
Watch what happens.
I could see them come. Actually, because Lindsay and Steven are not together, I could see Steven declining the invite.
Yeah, but if Danielle's there, maybe Robert is just like, hey, everyone. And everyone's like, Robert's our favorite character. Okay. Dustin says, finale was fun. Hannah is by far the worst. I love seeing her get pissed the last of the episode because she's blaming everyone else for not liking her.
Yep.
Dude, hit it right on the nail. Luke deserves not to have everyone hate him, and I'm glad people are coming around to see Hannah's bullshit. Agreed. Steven is a fucking loser. I'm totally over that dude. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Yeah, he's just there, honestly. He's furniture.
But here's the thing is, like, think about his age. He's 25 and doesn't fucking want this. Why? Like, he needs to just exit the relationship himself and be like, this isn't what I want. Like, it's okay for him to be this way because of his age, but he needs to not then be in a relationship with somebody who wants that stuff.
He's the straight up lamest 25, 26-year-old. Dude, and I think part of it's dating Lindsay. Like, I think it'd be really fun if he wasn't dating Lindsay.
I think work is a problem, but I just don't think
work's a problem.
It's like I feel like he's getting shit on for things that are so normal. He's basically on the same page you and I are. Like, we don't want this stuff.
No.
At this moment in life, this isn't what I want.
Exactly. Kyle and Amanda should have gotten married for real. What the fuck are you guys waiting for? Just do it. Yeah, I mean, I get it. It was a fun season. It was cool to see that during the pandemic, shit was still happening. It feels like there was this desert for reality TV during the pandemic. I agree. We're missing it. But we're back.
Yeah, but this summer with Bravo is going to be awesome. I really like casually watching Shahs of Sunset. That's coming back.
Is that good?
Real Housewives of New York is coming, and Real Housewives of Orange County, or no, Beverly Hills are all coming this summer. And I keep seeing shit like, do you remember when Bravo used to have those commercials in the summer? And it was like, those crazy ones where all like a bunch of different show people were in it, and they did this like whole promo for just like Summer with Bravo. People are saying like it's Summer with Bravo again. Like we're finally getting all the good shit all at the same time. I'm hyped because like Winter House is probably going to come out, I think, early fall. I'm thinking September is when it would come out.
Dustin says, kind of feels like a good time capsule for dealing with quarantine and clinging on to any semblance of life before COVID. I agree. Ooh. I watch so much reality
without it being like Debbie Downer COVID, because like all of those like scripted shows are all in COVID time, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with this.
Oh my god, yeah. Well, Dustin finishes out really looking forward to the reunion show. Hopefully there's more than one. I think there's 2, so we should be good.
Bravo posted when their reunion thing, they posted like 2-part.
Yeah. So really quick, my mom told me she watches Grey's, and she said that Grey's is doing COVID and Black Lives Matter, and she goes, it's just like we have to relive it. Like this is such a dark time, and
without it being reality TV, there are very few shows that are not acknowledging COVID, and I really like the ones that don't. I get why hospital shows have to, like, I get why Grey's has to, but like I watch a different doctor show called The Resident on Fox, and they acknowledged it the first 2 episodes and then fast forwarded into the future with post-COVID. And I'm like, thank you. I'm tired of living this world in every show I watch.
Like we watched Chicago PD, and they were starting to kind of put on like police brutality episodes, like whatever. And then COVID hit, so they paused filming or whatever. And now they're back, and it's just like, it's obviously so important, but Chicago PD is not the platform that we like need to put it out there. You know, like
it's just hard when it's
as a society,
single show. You need like a break to decompress.
Over and over, like, because my parents watch Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and then Chicago Med, and they're all doing COVID and Black Lives Matter and like basically June, which was the most depressing fucking month.
And like Grey's Anatomy was doing like sex trafficking. Like it was like a lot going on, and like mental health. And it's like, this is just a lot.
We're all broken.
Some, like, happiness.
I need to watch other people jump in pools naked and be like, that was funny. Everyone go watch Temptation Island. Trust me. It'll get your mind off of all of it.
I'm really excited for COVID to be over so that it can stop being a storyline on shows.
I agree. Well, this was a great season.
I'm super excited for Winter House.
Oh my God, guys. We're going to do
August
Winter
or
House.
September. So we're going to
do Winter House.
Well, I think we'll be able to get season 1 of Summer House out before Winter House starts. We can do those 2 in like the next few months.
Okay, great.
But
yes,
go to our
stick
Patreon.
With us for Winter House. Go to our Patreon. We'll put everything up there in real. Yeah, we'll put everything up there in real time. Follow us on Instagram if you have questions. Please feel free to DM us. No one's DM'd me in a while, and I'm sad about it. But yeah, oh my God. This has been great. And honestly, I can't even say anything. I know I picked Hannah is not fun, but we just love you. We love you like Summer House loves
as much as Kyle and Amanda love each other.
Oh my God, my heart.